Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by my bare face, I'm finally getting around to doing my very highly requested skincare routine. I get so many questions from you guys and I'm finally sitting down to do a video all about my face. So first of all, I guess I should say what sort of skin I have. Generally, it's pretty normal. I do get a bit oily on my T-zone. No real issues in terms of acne or anything like that. When I was in secondary school and around about college, I would get quite a few spots on my forehead. That's kind of like the main area I get spots now. I get these kind of, they're not blackheads, I forget what they're actually called. I think they're like milia, maybe, I don't know. But basically, if I do this to my chin, I can normally see a bunch of things that I just really badly want to squeeze. I am a spot squeezer. I would not recommend squeezing your spots, but when I see a spot that needs squeezing, can't help myself. So you may be able to see I have got a spot that I squeezed there and a little bad boy that I squeezed there, and this morning I did go ham on my face with a blackhead extractor. Generally speaking, I don't have too many complaints about my skin. Obviously I do have an oily chin with the spot things that I can't help but squeeze. Yeah, but generally speaking, my skin is pretty clear. This is probably really bad, but I don't really drink water. My skin would probably be a whole lot better if I did. I am trying to drink more at the moment. I obviously drink it when I go to the gym, and I drink it at night, you know, after I brush my teeth and things like that. At the moment, I have a big bottle of orange squash next to me, so I am trying to glug that in hopes that it'll make me drink a little bit more water at the moment, but in terms of my water intake, it's bad. But I'm gonna show you guys all the products I use. Get your notebooks ready, it's pretty extensive. And yeah, let's just get into it. So I guess I'm just going to work through everything in terms of day to night. The first thing I use, again this is kind of bad, I don't always wash my face with a product in the morning. Sometimes I'll get up, in fact a lot of the time I will just get up, splash my face with cold water and pat it dry, and then go on with my next moisturizers and stuff like that. But when I do wash my face, again, that does sound really bad. I promise you I am clean. I use the Fresh Rose Cleansing Foam. It's such a mouthful to say that. I'm not really one for cleansing foams at all. I find them usually pretty drying, but this one is actually really good. I don't find it drying whatsoever, and it's just a really nice light cleanser. Wouldn't recommend it for nighttime if you're trying to actually cleanse makeup off your skin. It's just a really good facial cleanser if you don't really have anything on your face. Yeah, and I just really like this because it is really nice and gentle, and it does just make me feel a bit more clean. But like I said, sometimes I do just splash some cold water, go in with a towel, good to go. Next, I'll tend to just go in with a serum, and the one I've been loving for the past few months is the Origins Original Skin Serum. This I find is just really nice and lightweight. I don't feel it on my skin at all, and I find that serums, you don't tend to know if they're doing anything to your skin at the time. It's something that you kind of put on your face and hope that in a few months' time it kind of works, and I haven't had any issues with this. I haven't found that my skin's been dry or anything like that. Serums are, if you don't know, really good for kind of replenishing the skin. Obviously you have moisturizers that moisturize your skin, but this kind of does a little bit of everything. I think it works a little bit deeper into the skin, so I always make sure that I put a serum on before my moisturizer. And yeah, I just find this one to be really, really nice, and it's got a pump as well, which is very, very useful. Next, I'll move on to moisturizer. I'm not overly loyal to any particular moisturizer, but one I've been loving recently is the This Works Lighttime Skin Plumper. This is just generally a really good moisturizer, and again, it does have a pump, and you really don't need a lot of it. But one of the main reasons I love it is if you're like me and when you sleep, you sleep hard, you wake up in the morning and you just have lines from your pillowcase in your face. This actually gets rid of it in a few minutes. That was the selling point when I actually received it, and I thought to myself, surely that's not going to work. But one day I woke up and I had the biggest pillow dent on my face. Put this on, this is the first time I used it, and within like a minute it had pretty much gone. And usually for me it'll take a good like half an hour for that stuff to go, so this really does work if you do find that you get like pillow dents in your face. But apart from that, it is just a really nice moisturizer, and it works well under makeup as well. You guys know I love me some fake tan, and if you're a fellow fake tanner, then you'll know that your face is usually a lot more pale than your body. So every other day, I don't tend to do this every day, but normally every other day I'll go in with a Saint-Tropez bronzing lotion for the face. This is just a self-tanning lotion, and I find it doesn't clog my pores or anything like that. It's got a pump, so it's super handy to use, and I find it just gives me like a really nice bronzy glow. I use it pretty much any day I'm wearing a full face of makeup, which usually works out to be every other day, I'd say. And yeah, it just works really nicely under makeup as well, and like I said, it doesn't clog your pores or anything like that. It just gives you a nice bronzy glow. Another product, depending on what sort of makeup I'm wearing that day and whether or not it has SPF, I'll always put SPF on my face if it's not on my makeup, if that makes sense. This is the RMK. I don't really know what it's called because it's all in some sort of, you're not gonna be able to see that, but like Japanese or something writing. But this is just an SPF. It's SPF 45 PA++++. Don't know what that means, but I'm guessing it's pretty good if it's got 4 pluses next to it. But again, this is just really, really lightweight. I don't notice that I'm wearing it, and like I said, if I'm not wearing SPF in my makeup, I will pop some of this on as well. Next, I'll go in with a quick honourable mention. I don't use this all of the time, just when I'm feeling like I want to use it, because it is quite pricey for just some smelly water, basically. It kind of smells like mint. It's a good smell, it's not a bad one. But this is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I find it just makes my skin nice and glowy, so if I am going out and I'm going to like a special event or something, I will use this. Sometimes I'll also use this over my makeup if I'm maybe looking a little bit powdery, and it just works to kind of cool my skin down, smooth everything out a little bit, and yeah, it's just sort of, it's a bit of a princess product, but I love it all the same. And if you haven't smelt it and you like minty sort of spa-like products, oh, it's so, so good. Definitely recommend it. Next, we have a lip scrub and a lip balm. I don't necessarily use them in the morning or in the evening. I use them, you know, whenever I need them. But the first one is a lip scrub. This is the Frank lip scrub, and it's basically, if you are familiar with Frank, you know, they do like coffee scrubs and stuff like that. And this is just a coffee scrub lip balm. It's really nice and moisturizing, I find, so it's really, really scrubby, so if you do have dry lips, it will get rid of the dryness, but it's also quite moisturizing as well afterwards, so really, really like that. And for lip balm, I guess lips are part of your skin, so that's why I'm featuring them in this. I like to use the Clarins lip oil. This stuff smells amazing, and you may be thinking a lip oil is kind of weird, but honestly, it's the best formulation I found. Like, I've had lip balms, I've had like petroleum jellies, I've had like the sticks, I've had the ones like the EOS lip balms, all of these different ones, and a lip oil is by far the most moisturizing. I also love Lanolips. You guys know I love my Lanolips. So if you guys thought the morning routine was extensive, you ain't seeing nothing yet. My evening routine is long. It features a lot of products, so brace yourselves. If I'm wearing a full face of makeup and I know that some of it's going to be a little bit tricky to come off, maybe if I'm wearing waterproof mascara or something, I'll first of all go in with the Ciate Makeup Melter. It just looks a little something like this, and I don't think, it doesn't have any smell. It's just kind of like a cleansing balm, but it doesn't actually clean your skin. It literally just melts your makeup off. It's absolutely amazing. A tiny little pea-size amount of this and your eye makeup is gone. You look like a full-blown panda, but it's absolutely amazing if you do struggle to take off some of your eye makeup or something like that. If you do have sort of more intense makeup, definitely recommend this because it literally takes off anything. The next two products are probably my favourite products that I like to use in the evening, and it's the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse and the Dermal Clay Cleanser. Obviously, you go in with the pre-cleanse first. I do tend to favour these products over the Makeup Melter just because I find that these do take off pretty much everything as well. But the pre-cleanse is kind of like an oil, so you just massage it over your makeup and it will just melt your makeup off entirely. You then wash it with water and it'll kind of foam up a little bit and then rinse it off. And then when my face is still wet, I'll take maybe like a Malteser size amount of this and I'll just massage it over my skin. Again, this will foam up a little bit and kind of create like a little emulsion. And then I wash it off again, and then I tend to repeat this step again just to make sure that my skin is super duper clean. I've actually found that since using these products, I probably have less spots than I used to, which is really, really good, and it's just a really, really nice process. It does take off your makeup and it also cleans your skin in one, so yeah, really loving those. Next, I'm going to go in with another favourite of mine, and I actually love it so much that I have completely run out of it, which is very, very depressing because this is pretty pricey. It's the Alpha H Liquid Gold. If you don't know about this, it's basically an acid, and if you don't know about acids, it's basically a better way to exfoliate your skin because manual exfoliating can damage your skin a bit more. So this is just like a liquid. You pop a little bit on a cotton pad and wipe it over your skin, and I tend to use this, or I used to before it ran out, maybe every other night, and I always found that my skin was, you know, pretty soft. I never had any dry patches or anything like that, and it also kept any blackheads or spots or anything like that at bay as well. So yeah, really, really love this. It is pricey. It does last a long time though, but if you are suffering from maybe dry skin, or if you do think you have oversized blackheads or anything like that, then maybe see if you can get a sample of this because it is really, really good. I'm just going to quickly touch on one of my favourite face masks. This is the Fresh Sugar Face Polish, and again, this is like an exfoliator. It is more of a manual exfoliator, but I don't tend to use it for exfoliating as such. I just use it as a really nice nourishing face mask. So it's got really noisy packaging. This is what it looks like. As you can see, I've had like my claws digging into it. Smells like lemony sugar. It's so, so nice. And what I do is I tend to do this when I'm having a bath or a shower, and I'll pop it over my skin, leave it for maybe 10 minutes or so, and then I basically just kind of rinse it off and massage my skin as I'm rinsing it off, just to help exfoliate my skin a little bit. And it just gives me like a really new lease of life for my skin, I think. It makes me look a bit more glowy and stuff like that. So I probably use that maybe once a week or so. You may have noticed that I didn't actually feature an eye cream in my morning routine. That's because generally I use my eye creams in the evening, purely because I find that with makeup, eye creams can kind of go a little bit oily underneath my makeup, so I save it for the night time. And the one that I have been loving for the past few months is the Medicate Hydrate Night Cream. This is a professional strength one. This is honestly amazing. I noticed, obviously it's probably because I don't really drink that much water, I noticed that under my eyes I was kind of getting slight lines, not in terms of like getting older, I mean I'm only 23, but I noticed that maybe my eyes were getting a little bit more dry underneath, and I could have just saved that with drinking water, but I hate the stuff. But when I started using this just kind of miraculously cleared it up within like a week or so. Next I have two kind of oily serum-like products. The first one is the Sunday Riley Lunar Sleeping Night Oil. I'm so sorry, this is really good. It's also really bloody expensive. You don't need this, but it is good. And basically, because it is so expensive, I maybe use this like twice a week or something. And as you can see, it literally is blue. I'm not gonna waste it because one drop probably equates to like £1 or something. But yeah, I use like a couple of drops, pop it in the palms of my hands and just pat it over my face. Doesn't make your face blue as such, it maybe gives it like a slight tinge, doesn't come off on your pillow or anything like that. But it's basically just really intense retinol, I think. And if you do struggle with retinol, I know that, like I said, that my skin's pretty tough. But if you do suffer with products like retinol and maybe you aren't used to something like this, then I think you should probably check with your doctor or something like that if you should be using something like this. But I used it straight from the get-go. I'd never used anything like that before, and it really did help my skin. It really improved like the brightness of my skin. It's honestly so good. Like, brightness is something that I struggle a lot with my skin. I find my skin is quite sallow, but this helped out so much. It's just bloody pricey, so you don't need it, but if you can get it, it's good. Another product, again, expensive. You guys can kind of see that where I put my money for my skincare, it's like the products that will actually go into my skin and do something. I use the 111 Skin. I don't know if it's 111 Skin or 3 Skin, not sure, but it's the Space Aqua Booster. You can mix this in with your moisturizer or oils, I think, but what I tend to do is I literally just pop it straight onto the skin because I find it just works better that way. And again, it just has a little pipette. This one's completely clear. I use a few drops, massage it in between my fingers, and then pat it into my skin again, and I just find that it keeps my skin really hydrated. For my nightly moisturizer, this one is pretty intense, and again, pretty pricey. I will leave a few of my favourites that are a bit more affordable down below, but this is just one that I've been using a lot recently, and it's the Emmy Skin Lab Bio-Energizing Cell Repair Balm. This is intense, this stuff. Like, you really don't need a lot of this. Again, I've been using this for maybe 5 months or so now, and it's just a really intense cream. If you don't like the feeling of having a cream on your face, then you won't like this, because it is, like I said, really intense. It's like super thick. You can really feel it on your face, but I like that kind of thing at night. Yeah, like I said, there are a bunch of other products that I do use, but this is kind of like my favourite at the moment. And last but not least, we'll end on something a bit more affordable, because I know the past 3 products were like, you'd probably need to sell your soul to be able to afford them. This is the Weleda, okay, yeah, that's not a word I know, Purifying Lotion, Intensive Care for Problem Skin. I don't have problem skin, but I find that when I get spots that linger on the skin for a bit longer than they should, probably because I squeeze them. But what I do, I think you're meant to put this, it doesn't have directions on the actual bottle, but I think it had it on the box. I think you're meant to put this kind of all over your skin if you have like a problem area. So say if you have acne on your chin or something, I think you're meant to put this like over your chin. But because I don't need it sort of all over my face, what I'll do is I'll take a cotton bud and I'll just pop it on the spots that I have, or any sort of problem areas that I have, and this clears them up in like half the time that they would go naturally. So yeah, really love this stuff. It is super affordable, and if you are just using it for like a spot treatment, like on spot treatment like I am, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I have got this much left and I've been using it for a good year or so, and I have tried it like all over my face and everything like that, but it is quite drying, I will say that. So if you have like a dry spot, I maybe wouldn't recommend it, but if you have something like this spot is a freshly squeezed one, sorry about that, this one is quite red, and it probably doesn't look that red on the camera, but to me it looks quite red and quite angry. So I'll put this on and it will just dry it out, and then maybe a day or two later it will be gone. So It does dry them out, but it also gets rid of them pretty quickly as well. So that is everything for my skincare routine. I cannot believe how many products go on my face throughout the day. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah, you guys asked for it and this is what I use. Obviously, a super quick disclaimer, what may work for me, it may not work for you. Be sure to try around different things, and if you are apprehensive about any products, say the retinol in the facial oil, then definitely ask your doctor or dermatologist or anything like that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did like it and you found it helpful, and also please subscribe if you do want to see more of me. I post every Thursdays and Sundays. But apart from that, that's it from me. I love you guys and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!